Welcome back to our lesson on the Vedic Civilization of ancient India. This is part 2. In part 1 of this lesson, we discussed the origins of the Vedic people, the Sanskrit language, and the basics of the Hindu religion. Part 2 explores the ancient Vedic city-states, or Janapads, the origins of Jainism and Buddhism, and some of the historic figures that shaped the history of India. Enjoy! Between 1000 and 600 BCE, the pastoral tribes known as Janas began to settle down and farm across the Indian subcontinent. Iron tools were developed and were used to clear the forests and plow fields to raise crops. The Punjab region is well suited for growing grains such as wheat and barley. And as the Vedics spread east following the Ganga River, they also started farming rice. As they formed established settlements, these were called Janapadas. Each one had its own rulers and government. They would sometimes war with one another to expand territory and control resources. A few of these Janapadas became large and formed kingdoms controlling large swaths of territory and people. These were called Mahajanapadas. There were 16 main Mahajanapadas, and one of them, called Maghada, was especially focused on expansion and control. For hundreds of years, Maghada was the most powerful territory in a divided India. During this time, there were many religious and social movements. Even though the Hindu religion was a major part of the social structure, some people wanted a less ritualistic or rigid form of worship. Some people did not agree with the Varna or class system. One of these groups of people followed the teachings of a sage named Maurya. He was the last of 24 sages that attained enlightenment and knowledge by renouncing a worldly existence and meditating. This practice is known as Jainism. Jainism is an individual journey of seeking enlightenment. Followers make 5 initial vows: ahimsa, non-violence; satya, seeking the truth; asteya, non-stealing; brahmacharya, chastity; and aparigraha, non-attachment. Like Hindu, adherents to Jainism are seeking to reach an end to their birth, death, rebirth cycle, but in a different way. It's not a break-off of Hindu, but a unique, separate belief system with some similarities. Millions still practice Jainism today. Another group of people began to follow the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama. The story is told of how Siddhartha was a prince living a life of luxury and wealth. His father provided everything he needed within the walls of his palace for 29 years. One day, he desired to see the outside of his palace, against his father's wishes, and his servants took him there secretly. While outside the palace, he saw things he had never seen. He saw an old man hobbled with age and asked, "What is that?" His servants told him, "This is an old man. Everyone loses their youth someday and suffers old age, even you, Siddhartha." Next, he saw a sick man lying in the street. He asked, "What is that?" His servants told him, "This is a man with disease. All people get sick sometimes and lose their health. Even you will lose your health and suffer illness at some point, Siddhartha." Next, he saw a dead man being carried in a funeral procession. He asked, "What is that?" His servants told him, "That is a dead man. All people eventually lose their life, and their families suffer the loss. Even you will die someday, Siddhartha." Finally, he saw a monk that had given up all his worldly possessions and had found peace through self-actualization. He realized after seeing these things that all life is defined by suffering and loss, and so he decided to live like the monk and give up his worldly possessions and sought teaching from wise men and knowledge through meditation. Eventually, he reached enlightenment and became the Buddha, which means the enlightened one. His teachings spread across India and into other faraway lands. The practice of following the teachings of Buddha is called Buddhism. The basic tenets of Buddhism are known as the 4 truths, which lead to the Eightfold Path. Millions of people still practice Buddhism throughout the world today. Hindu, Jainism, and Buddhism all use forms of focused meditation, referred to as yoga. Yoga is a way to control and connect the mind, body, and spirit to seek enlightenment and self-actualization. In Vedic times, yoga was more focused on meditation than on the physical stretching exercises we think of today. Both Jainism and Buddhism seem to have blossomed in Maghada and spread out across India, starting around 500 BCE. In 327 BCE, as Maghada was spreading in the east, the Greek conqueror Alexander the Great tried to invade India from the west. Even though he failed to conquer India, some leaders in Maghada realized that without a unified India, they'd faced great risk from future invaders. A Maghada military commander named Chandragupta Maurya and his advisor Chanakya led a military campaign to conquer and unite many of the kingdoms of India. They were successful and formed the Mauryan Empire, which lasted over 100 years and covered a huge part of India. In the Mauryan Empire, there was acceptance of new belief systems such as Jainism and Buddhism. Some evidence even suggests that Chandragupta practiced Jainism in his late life. Chandragupta's grandson was named Ashoka. Ashoka fought many wars to expand the Mauryan Empire and bring unity and strength to India. After many wars and victories, his army invaded the land of Kalinga. Thousands were killed, and even though Ashoka and his army were victorious, he realized that war had brought immense suffering to everyone involved. The scene of carnage inspired a great change within him. He renounced war and decided to follow the teachings of Buddha and try to unify people in his empire through non-violence, honesty, truthfulness, and mercy. He was so devoted to peace and non-violence that he even became a vegetarian. He carved these ideas on stone monuments and placed them around the empire. They are known as the Edicts of Ashoka. He also used the Buddhist symbol of the Dharma chakra. The one Ashoka had 24 spokes, representing positive principles and values. This chakra is now used on the flag of India. Ashoka is revered as one of the greatest rulers in the history of India. He ruled with a policy of dharma, focusing on peace, tolerance, and helping improve the lives of the people. He was responsible for the rapid expansion of Buddhism. He promoted it by building many Buddhist structures and monuments, and sending Buddhist missionaries to teach the people. He was very popular among his people, and he succeeded in unifying his empire. He ruled until he died. There's so much more to Vedic history than we were able to cover in this short video. Check out the links in the description to find out more about the Vedic Civilization. Thanks for watching until the end. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time!